What's going on, everybody? Welcome to CS5 Unmasked. Today we're going to be making a Jason costume and mask from Jason Goes to Hell for about $25. Now I know it's going to be quite difficult to be movie accurate for around $25, but we're going to give it our best shot. So sit back and relax, and welcome to CS5's Cost Cut Costume Tutorials. Alright, let's get down to it. So obviously we're going to need a mask, a hood, a blue work shirt, blue pants, black belt, and boots. Now the boots and the belt I already own, so I'm not going to be adding that to the cost. Now thrift stores are always a great place to pick up cheap clothes, and I'm always trying to find the best deals. So luckily, to my surprise, I was able to pick up this blue work shirt at Walmart for $3 on clearance. And the pants I found at the Goodwill for $1. Now that we got the shirt and pants, it's time to apply some damage along with some aging and weathering. Okay, so being as there's some slight differences between the Part 9 Jason from the movie and the Part 9 Jason from the game, I think it might be a good idea just to kind of mix them both together. So I'm going to use lots of photos and videos for reference when applying the damage. Alright, go ahead and lay out your shirt and put a piece of cardboard in between. Using a pencil, go ahead and mark out the places where you're going to be cutting. Now, based on the photos and videos, it looks like there's a lot of damage to the front of the shirt and each one of the arms. And don't forget to flip it over so you can put the damage on the back. Once everything is marked, go ahead and use your razor blade and proceed to apply the damage to the shirt. Just be really careful when you're using the razor blade so this doesn't happen to you. Alright, so once you got all the damage done to the front side of the shirt, go ahead and flip it over and proceed to the back. And once you're complete, repeat the same process with the pants. Okay, once you've applied all the damage, it's now time to age and weather the clothes. Now I'm going to be using a damp rag along with some diluted black acrylic paint, which I picked up at Walmart for about 50 cents. I'm going to blot, rub, and smear this diluted black paint all over the shirt and pants. Now don't be afraid to be too messy with it, because if you feel like you've made a mistake, just run a little bit of warm water over it and most of it will come out. Alright, now we're going to make some infected and damaged skin pieces that are going to show through the holes in the clothes. So for this, I'm going to be using some brownish orange felt for the skin, which I picked up for about 50 cents at my local fabric store. I'm also going to be using hot glue for the wounds and gashes. Now the hot glue sticks I picked up at Walmart for about $1. Alright, now cut out the felt to match the sizes of the holes that you put into the clothes. Now go ahead and apply some of the hot glue onto the felt and make it kind of look like deep cuts or excessive damage. Now it may look funny at first, but once you get it painted, it's actually going to look pretty good. Now using some brown and yellow acrylic paint, which I also picked up at Walmart for around $1, I'm going to apply that to the dry glue and felt. Now I'm not going to be too careful with it because I kind of want it to look a little bit messy. So now I'm going to apply a little bit of the black acrylic paint to kind of give it a little bit of depth. Now just go ahead and have some fun with this. Now I went ahead and mixed a little bit of yellow and brown and decided to kind of just spread it all over. I do feel this will give it more of a natural look rather than you just painting it. And at this point we can also mix black with the yellow and really make this wound look infected. Alright, once all of that dries, we now can apply this to the shirt and pants. Go ahead and turn the clothes inside out. Now match the felt with the holes in the clothes. Now just apply them with some hot glue. After about 5 minutes, turn the clothes right side in, and as you can plainly see, it really does look like infected, damaged skin. Alright, now for the mask. Now the mask that we're going to be using is one of those cheap masks that you pick up on eBay for around $2. Now I am going to be using a custom strap with pop rivets, so I'm going to remove all of the snaps. Now if you have no intention of using a custom strap, leave the top 3 snaps so you can apply the strap that comes with the mask. Okay, after I remove the strap, I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the snaps on the mask. I'm going to proceed to sand the mask until all of the shine has been removed. Now sandpaper obviously works the best, but if you don't have access to sandpaper, a sanding block works pretty good. I did pick this one up at the dollar store. Go ahead and mark out all of the damage on the mask. Now I'm going to be using a lot of photos for references, so I can try to be as accurate as I possibly can. Once all the marks are on the mask, proceed to cut them out. Now I will be using a Dremel to make the damage to the mask, but if you yourself do not have a Dremel tool, believe it or not, a wood burning tool will actually work quite well. But just be very cautious. A wood burning tool gets extremely hot, and the smell of melting plastic could make you sick. So just use whatever works well for you. Alright, let's go ahead and paint the mask. Now I'm going to be using some cheap black spray paint I picked up at Lowe's for about $1. This is going to be the base coat for the mask. And then after that, I'm going to be using some cheap white spray paint that I picked up at Walmart for $1 as well. Now I don't normally recommend using cheap white spray paint, but for this application, it's going to work out pretty good. Okay, once all the spray paint is dried, we're going to go ahead and use a little bit of diluted yellow acrylic paint to highlight some of the areas. Now go ahead and repeat this step using some diluted brown, along with some diluted black. Alright, once that is complete, go ahead and mix up some black and brown, and do some more highlighting around the damaged areas of the mask. Alright, now for the chevron. If you want, you can go ahead and stencil it out on some red masking tape, and then apply it to the mask, but today we're going to be using some chevrons that I picked up at JDF Studios. Now either way, it's still only going to cost around $1. Now for the custom strap. I'm going to be using some brown elastic strapping that I picked up at my local fabric store for around $1. So I cut the elastic into 2 separate straps. A 13-inch piece for the one that goes over the top of the head, and a 14-inch piece for the one that goes around the head. Now your head may vary a little bit, so just figure out how big you want them. Now I went ahead and beveled the edges of the strap to make it look a little more movie accurate, and I think it's a really nice touch. Now I'm just going to hot glue the straps together. I'm going to make a few marks on the mask and then use my wood burning tool to actually make the holes for the pop rivets. Now I already own the pop rivet gun and rivets themselves, so I'm not going to factor that into the cost. Now using the pop rivet gun, I'm going to apply the strap to the mask. Alright, that looks pretty good. Okay, now for the hood. Now obviously there is a few options out there if you want. You could go with the standard balaclava, which costs around $3, and there is many different colors. But today we're actually going to be using a latex mask. Now I was actually trying to find a Part 9 hood or mask, but I couldn't find one cheap enough, that wouldn't put me over my $25 mark. Now I did find some that looked really close, but they were just too expensive. So I did settle on this one here. Now I know it doesn't look like the Part 9 hood, but for about 10 bucks, I was gonna give it a try. Alright, now that we got our hood, we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of hair to the back. And the best thing to get hair from is actually a used Barbie doll. Now I did pick up this Barbie doll at the Goodwill for about 50 cents. Go ahead and apply the hair to the back of the hood using hot glue. After you're done, go ahead and thin the hair out a little bit. This makes it look a little more realistic. Okay, let's go ahead and add up the cost and see how close we came to our $25 mark. And as you can plainly see, we just came shy under 25 bucks. Alright, let's go ahead and put everything together and see what we got. Alright, I want to thank everybody for stopping by and checking out the video. I had a wonderful time actually making this costume. Now if you guys have any suggestions for costumes you'd like me to make in the future, let me know down below. Alright everybody, this is CS5 signing out, and I hope to see you in the next video.